Hello y'all, how you doing? Today is an exciting day for me. Today is the day I start my tomato seeds. And no matter how many flowers I grow or how many vegetables I grow, tomatoes are always the jewel of my garden. They're always the thing that I get so excited about all winter. They're always the thing that makes my mouth water in the off season when I see pictures of them. So I will be starting seeds from a personal garden. I will be starting seeds from a personal garden and also starting tomato seeds for my seedling sale. And I will be growing the ones for my seedling sale in my garden as well. However, if I'm growing them for my seedling sale, I'm going to mass sow them in one of these little pots. Yes, I know that's dripping. I have it sitting in water here, bottom watering. And if it's for my own personal garden, I'll be sowing them in these 4-cell packs. I'll be doing 2 of each variety. I went ahead and filled the pots off camera. And after I get these planted, I will be taking them in and putting them under my lights in my house. And then once they sprout, they'll come back out here to my greenhouse. And I do it that way just because when they're in that seedling stage, it's easier to keep track of the water levels if it's in the house under the lights where I can look at it all the time and water it real quick. When it's out here, sometimes it just gets way too hot, quicker than I'm able to regulate. Even with the automatic vents, it'll still sometimes get really hot out here, and it makes your seedlings dry out quicker. My temperature in my house is a little more stable, so it's just easier to make sure they stay moist in there. But then once they sprout, they come out here almost immediately. That way they can get used to the sun, the wind, and it makes the hardening off process easier down the line. But we'll talk about hardening off whenever it gets closer to planting time. For now, let's go ahead and get started on planting these tomato varieties. I do want to say, I haven't decided which ones are going to be in my seedling sale and which one are just going to be in my personal garden. I have some old pelleted seeds. I'm going to be planting all those, so if I get a bunch of those come up, I will be including those in my seedling sale. With pelleted seeds, they're covered in clay, and that clay is supposed to help them germinate easier, and it also makes it easier to plant teeny tiny seeds, because some seeds are literally like dust. So it makes it easier to handle those seeds and get them planted. However, it also makes the life of the seed deteriorate more quickly than it would without the coating. And whenever I bought these seeds, I didn't realize that, and they've been sitting in my collection for a few years now. And I just realized this year, oh, those are pelleted, I need to get them planted, so who knows if they'll germinate. With that being said, let's get started with the tomatoes. I will just literally be choosing which tomatoes go in my seedling sale based on, do I have a bunch of seeds of this type still, and is it a cool original variety? It'll kind of be on a whim. It'll be based on my seed count as I'm going through and planting seeds. And plus, I know that I want to have not all reds. I want to have like different colors and different varieties. So that'll be the deciding factor. I got this Rebel Starfighter Prime from Baker's Creek, but I have grown this before. I got it a few years ago in a seed trade, and these are really, really good seeds. However, I used my last seed this past season and did not save them. So when I saw that Baker's Creek was carrying them, I snatched them up. And these ones are going to go into my tomato seedling sale, so they will be mass sowed. I went ahead and just planted all the seeds in this packet. So let's see, there were a minimum of 10 seeds. There were definitely more than 10 seeds. I would say there's probably closer to 15. This Woolly Kate Yellow came as free seeds. I have grown these before. They're really good, and they have this really pretty fuzzy velvety foliage and a light fuzzy skin, kind of like a peach. These will go in my seedling cell as well. I like to grow interesting things that people can't just go to a regular nursery or to a big box store to get. A lot of them people have never even heard of before. There are still seeds in here. I don't know how many I planted. Nice little handful. Put it in a plastic bag. Put it back in the envelope. And that'll be ready for next time. So the next one is the Sugar Rush tomato, and I've never grown these before, so these will be in my personal garden this year. I just double folded this down because I need to get more baggies. I don't think I have any more out here, so I will take this in, put the rest of the seeds in a baggie, and put it back in the envelope. Now I'm just going to set that one out of the way, and when I come to the next kind that I'm going to grow in my own garden, but not my seedling sale, they'll go into the same 4-pack. This next one is called Rebel Alliance, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and plant the rest of these seeds, regardless of how many they are. And they're kind of getting old, so I want to make sure I grow them out and save seeds from these this year. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seeds. So I'll keep at least a couple of these plants for myself, and then I'll sell the rest of them. When I use the last of my seed, I like to put a little L or write last on the tag so I know to save seeds. The next one is the Garden Peach tomato, and I know that these ones have a fuzzy skin and they're unique, so I am going to go ahead and put them in my seedling sale. Next one are these red fuzzy boar, or red furry boar that I got in a seed swap. I'm planting this in my own garden, so I will just put them in this 4-pack cell, and that will finish this cell pack off. A lot of these tomatoes that I'm planting this year I've never tried, but there are a few that I have had before. This red furry boar is one that I've never had. This next one is called Dean's Chocolate Salty Balls, and I will just be planting them in my own garden. This is the yellow Holy Land strain, and this will just go in my own personal garden. Or I'm sorry, it's Holy Land yellow strain. This is variegated potato leaf, and I'm just going to grow all of these. My camera just cut off, and I don't know where we were when it cut off, so I'm just going to keep going. The next one I have is the Thai pink egg, and this is going to just go in my own garden. The next one I'm going to be doing, and this is in my own garden, is the yellow ping pong. The next one is black cherry. I've had the chocolate cherry, but not the black cherry, and these are going to go in my own garden. The next one is the glossy rose blue. The next one I'm going to plant, and this is for my own garden, and this is the lovely Lush tomato. And the next one is woolly blue wine. This one also has a fuzzy leaf and a fuzzy skin. The next one I'm going to do is called Xanadu Green Goddess, and I am going to put this one in my seedling sale. The next one is Starfighter Beefsteak, and I'm going to grow these out for my seedling sale too. The next one is butterscotch paste, and actually there's a lot of seeds in this, so I think I'm going to go ahead and grow this out for my seedling sale just so I have a good paste tomato in there. Or at least I hope it's good. I've never grown them before. The next one is Marsha's Starfighter Heart, and I'm going to be planting all of these as well, and these will go in my seedling sale. The next one that I'm going to plant is Large Barred Boar, and I'm going to be planting this one in my own garden. The next one is Boxcar Willie. So the next one I'm planting is Sun Sugar. I don't have any more Sun Gold seeds, so I'm planting Sun Sugar. And in my opinion, these aren't quite as good, but they're still really good. Some people prefer these over the Sun Gold because they don't split as easily. But they're not quite the same. I tasted them one right after the other, and they don't, the Sun Gold is still slightly sweeter. next one will be this sweet aperitif tomato. This is definitely one of my favorite cherry tomatoes, red cherry tomatoes. The next one that I'm planting, and this is for my own garden as well, is big white pink stripes. The next one I have is called brown sugar. The next one I'm planting is the Isis candy tomato, and these are going in my seedling sale, mainly because these are old seeds and I want to use them before they are no longer viable. Oh, there's a lot of seeds in here. Next one I'm planting is called Patio Choice, and I'm planting all of these because these are pelleted seeds. The next one I'm going to do is this jelly bean, and these are pelleted seeds, so I'm going to plant all the rest of them. The next one is this Better Boy, and these are pelleted seeds, so they're all getting planted. Prairie Fire is the next one. These are by far one of my favorite tomatoes. I planted this, I want to say 2 or 3 seasons ago now, and it's been in my garden ever since. And it's been in my seedling cell ever since. Like the year that I tried it, that next year, it's been in my seedling cell ever since. This is the last of my seed. I'm going to plant them all, and then I'll have to order new seed for next year or save some. This is the Sergeant Pepper's tomato, and this is another one that I've grown, and it's really pretty and it tastes really good, and I'm going to grow it again this year for my seedling sale. The next one is called Darth Mater, and I'm going to be planting all the rest of these as well. This is the Rebel Starfighter VT16, and I'm going to go ahead and plant the rest of these seeds as well. These last 3 varieties that I'm going to plant were invented by a fella here in West Virginia, and he wanted to, I guess the first one, he wanted to set out to create a tomato that would produce in the mountains of West Virginia, because some of the mountains in West Virginia have a much shorter growing season than the rest of the state. So he set off to develop this tomato. Well, over his lifetime, he developed 3 notable tomatoes. He may have developed more, but these are the ones that are kind of out there on the market. And the last one he created is called West Virginia 23, and also known as Mannon's Majesty. His last name was Mannon. I can't remember his first name, but you can Google him if you would like. And he was in his 90s when he developed the West Virginia 23, and he said that it would probably be the last tomato that he developed. And the extension office put out a thing to where if you wanted to order the tomatoes seeds, you could. And I was one of the lucky people to receive these tomatoes. This past year, this gentleman passed away. So I'm going to grow probably all of these tomato seeds. I might leave like 2 or 3 just to have a backup and put them in my freezer. But I'm going to grow all these out with the intention of saving seed. The first one that I've got is the West Virginia 23, and it's called Mannon's Majesty. So I left myself 3 of those tomato seeds, just in case these fail. The next one that he had is called the People's Tomato, and it is the West Virginia 63. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first one that he came out with. Don't quote me on that, but I think this is the first one he introduced to the public. I saved myself 3 of those seeds as well. The next one's called Mountaineer Pride, or West Virginia 17A. So my extra ones I might give away to people who are interested in preserving seeds, or I may just keep them for myself, or I may sell them. Who knows? Alright, that's my tomato varieties for the 2025 growing season. I'm going to take these inside and get them under the lights. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.